All right, chapter 20, the best job I ever had. Hopefully it's not too, hopefully it's not windy out here. All right. Best job I ever had. My best job is as a wife, mother, and homemaker. As an adult, I've never wanted to be anything else, but I wanted to be very good at my chosen career. When I was growing up, it seemed the options for a career were secretary, teacher, or nurse. I'm sure there were more, but I didn't know what was out there. As a young girl, I chose secretary because my dad had secretaries and they seemed nice enough. When I had to write a paper in 7th grade about my career, I wrote about a school in New York City, Catherine Gibbs Secretarial School, where I could go to receive the best education possible to be the best secretary possible. Whenever I had a little extra spending money, I went into the stationery store to find inexpensive notebooks, pens, and other secretary items. I browsed the shelves for the longest time to get the most for my money. As a teenager, I figured I'd be a teacher instead. I met a young woman who was going to a teacher's college and thought that might be a good direction. I had no particular subject or interest other than that was what I should do. I applied to several New York State University colleges, but was rejected by all of them. One of them finally told me I should look at another profession since I wasn't teacher material. Ouch. According to the high school counselor reports from my high school, that had to be included in my application. When I went to Rick's College, I finally had to settle on a course of action. Again, my options seemed to be secretary, teacher, or nurse. I have never had any interest in nursing, so that was an easy elimination, secretary or teacher. I settled on teacher, even though according to my high school counselors, I clearly wasn't teacher material. What else was I supposed to do? I took 2 years of various elementary education courses, and finally at the end of my second year, I had to do what was called micro teaching. It was like the student teaching that is done before graduation, but on a much smaller scale. The classes I taught were small and were videoed. After the course was done, my instructor, Sister Hess, called me into her office to tell me she had observed my videoed micro teaching and it was the best she had ever seen. That's cool. She told me she hoped when her younger children were in school, I might be there to teach them. Sister Hess was the first woman at Rick's College to receive her doctorate, so her opinion was well respected. Although her remarks made me feel good, unbeknownst to her, after I finished my micro teaching, I decided I never wanted to teach school again. I didn't like it. I was accepted at BYU after graduating from Rick's, but I decided not to go. I felt I was wasting my parents' money since I didn't know what to study, and it wasn't right for me to spend their money just for the sake of going to BYU. I simply moved on to being a wife and mother. No plans, no conscious effort, no preparation. I couldn't have fallen into a better career path. If I had known, I would have studied homemaking and child development, but I didn't know about those things. I've never wanted to be outside the home. This truly was my place. Even when I went back to school when in my 50s, I just wanted to learn, not leave the home to make money, much to the chagrin of one of my BYU professors. I chose a field of study to use in the church, not the world. What a blessing that has been, and my degree is all about family. I had a couple incidences during my motherhood career that took me back a little. Once, when I was teaching early morning seminary, a young man asked me what mothers do all day. He thought we were pretty lazy and entitled. I knew there wasn't much I could tell him to change his thinking because he made it clear that his mother's work at homemaking was a second-rate job. Another time, we were selling our boat and a couple stopped by to take a look at it. I tried to be friendly with the woman. When out of the blue, she asked what I did. I told her I was a stay-at-home mom. She immediately went into a tirade about how worthless what I was doing was. Oh, sheesh. And ended up looking at me and saying, "What a waste." People. I've spent my years doing and learning landscaping, gardening, canning, painting, repainting, building, quilting, cooking, endlessly, sewing, teaching, school, homeschool, remodeling, and remodeling again, and so many other things to bless my family. Yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom, the best thing ever. Here's a picture. This is Jensen, home of the perfect wife and the perfect mom. That's it. See ya.